everyone, how you doing today? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm doing something a little bit different. For those viewers seeing my channel for the first time, I normally focus on cooking videos, whether it be barbecue, smoking, sous vide cooking, an occasional slow cooker casserole dish. That's the normal thing I'm doing. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different, kind of take you behind the scenes, see myself and my family when we go on our camping trip. Those of you that are regular viewers of my channel know that over the last year my family and I have been doing several camping trips. I've done a review on a Camp Chef camping stove. I also did a review on the Solo stove, camping stove. Both are great stoves, and to be honest with you, I really enjoy camping with the family. It's fun. So, this week I didn't have time for a cooking video because my wife reserved a spot at Doheny State Beach for camping. I think she made this reservation 6 months ago. This is an extremely popular camping site, and I'm kind of looking forward to it because it's right on the beach. It's one of the few beaches in California where you can camp literally feet away from the ocean. Now, for those of you that don't know, Doheny State Beach is in Southern California in Dana Point, and it's located between Laguna Beach and San Clemente. It's around a half hour south of where I live currently, and so it's a great place to go. It's close by. We're here in October, but luckily the weather says it's supposed to be pretty warm, so we're looking forward to this. Give you a little history of Doheny State Beach. It was the first California state beach. It was an oil tycoon named Edward Doheny who donated the land to the state of California to become a campsite back in 1931. It's a very popular surfing spot and has been for many, many years. In fact, if you listen to some Beach Boys, classic California 60s music, when the whole surfing scene, Doheny State Beach is mentioned in a couple of their songs. Surfing USA and Surfing Safari. So that's kind of an interesting fact. But anyway, I've never been there. My family's never been there. It took 6 months to secure this reservation. And you know what? Since I'm not doing a cooking video, I thought, you know what? I'll take the camcorder. I'll film a little bit while we're there. And then at the end of the video, my wife and I will get together and kind of give you our final thoughts on whether or not it would be a site that we could recommend for you to go camping, particularly if you have a family, because I have a family. So stick around. I'm going to show you and tell you about my camping experience. Let's go camping. Alright guys, here's where we're staying, Doheny State Beach in Dana Point. Here is the campground with all the different spots, and here is Pacific Ocean. This is the beach area, and we are staying at number 43 here, which is circled. So this is my little picnic table here. I got my little solar panel out to charge up the electronic devices, including this camera, our cell phones, our little speaker, which I just turned off temporarily, playing music because I don't want to get copyrighted. And I don't know if you can see it's a little bright, but this is the beach here. Alright, so Kyle's getting some ramen with some pulled pork, and Monica and I are going to have, we're going to add a little barbecue sauce to this smoked pork that I cooked a while back. I'll leave a link below if you're interested, but yeah, perfect camping. We're here. What's the name of this campground?
It's Doheny State Beach, and it's in Dana Point, California.
Okay.
So it's in between San Clemente and Laguna Beach in Southern California.
If you guys, I also did a review on this Camp Chef stove. And being on the coast here, I'm going to see if I can see this. It's late at night, guys, but
talk about it's almost November.
I don't know if you can see. This camera's got its limitation, but there's a train that runs all the way down the coast to San Diego, and it's coming through now. And I think we'll be able to see it once it, oh yeah, I see it moving there. Let me see. There's some other fires. We're right on the beach here. Okay, I can see it. You'll wait to see the tail light of the train. Ooh, it's a long train. I don't know if you can see the black mass there moving. But here's down the coast here. I know it's pitch black. You guys can't see much. But really cool. I've never camped on the beach in my life. And I have to say, it's nice. Right over here is the waters, the waves. We got a little fire pit action going on here. We're going to sit by later after we're done eating. And then, I don't know if you can see here, there's a marina. Too far away to get a good focus on it. But here you go. Here's our tent. There's Ava Grace. What you doing, Ava Grace?
Hi. Hi.
What you doing?
We're moving our chair to the campfire.
And here's our tent. Like right across the street is like a hotel. This
The train, actually.
boy, you can really hear that train. Looks like it's going. But anyway, PCH is behind this hotel, and there's a little frontage roads that comes right here. And if you go, when you come in, if you go on the other side, it takes you to the marina. And then on this side's a campsite right on the beach. Something so relaxing about just sitting by a fire. Right, Ava Grace?
Uh-huh.
Yeah? Just waiting to eat dinner here. I don't know where Kyle and Mommy are, but Ava Grace and Daddy are having fun.
Yeah.
Sitting by the fire.
Camping.
Camping, yeah. Alright, guys.
So,
Right on the beach.
down the beach.
Very nice. Alright, good morning. Kyle's watching some stuff. Ava Grace is still sleeping. Dixie. Dixie. Hi, dude. Oh, hi. She's freaking out. There's so many noises and dogs. Mommy over here, she went to the bathroom, take a shower. I'm just waking up. Not a bad setup we have in here. It's cool, we can see the stars at night. She wanted to put the cover on, but I wanted a little fresh air. Alright, got some coffee cooking here in the morning. We got, I don't know if you guys ever seen this little camping accessory. It's a solar panel, and we have it hooked up to a generator. Well, it's not really a generator, it's like a battery pack, I guess you would say, that we use to charge our cell phones, the cameras. So it's pretty cool. So anyway.
No, turn it off.
My son
Turn it off, Dad.
Here's our tent, our little campground. Got our chairs, our 2 cars here. But here, check out this view here. I'm gonna go across here, so.
You can feel better faster at home.
There's a little fire pit.
Urgentcare.com.
Hey, you're that famous actor.
And then we'll kind of walk out here on the beach a little bit, show you how close we are. Got a couple surfers out there. So me and Kyle walked all the way down over here to the marina, and you can see there's already quite a bit of paddle boarders and surfers out there. Alright, so here we are, going along the beach. This is right in front of our campsite. Ooh, little surfing action. And this is the campsite here, right on the beach, as you can see. There's a paddleboarder way out there. All right, we're out for breakfast. Where are we eating?
We're at Stack's Pancake House in Dana Point, California. This is Kahlua pork chilaquiles, and that's like tortilla chips with like sauce and then like Kahlua pork underneath.
All right.
With over medium eggs.
And then Kyle is having, what's this, Kyle?
The small Oreo cookie and cream pancake.
Cookie and cream pancakes.
Ooh, that looks good.
I think we need to get this back. I'm not sure if this is small enough.
Looking good. Hi, Eva Grace.
Hi.
She's gonna share with me the beans and the rice.
All right. And I'm waiting for my Eggs Benedict. We'll show that in a second. We're literally right on PCH, guys. Pacific Coast Highway. Just to show you here in Dana Point.
Oh my gosh, they were so generous. I was having a hard time deciding between one of their favorite dishes, which is macadamia nut banana pancakes with coconut cream syrup. Ooh. It's a Hawaiian owner here, so he makes a lot of his dishes inspired by Hawaiian cuisine. So anyhow, they just brought us a nice big pancake, macadamia banana.
Yeah, to sample out, free on the house.
So yeah, we're gonna give it a try.
And then of course I have Eggs Benedict. They're supposedly famous here for Eggs Benedict. Looking good. All right, we'll start eating, let you know how it is. How is yours, Kyle?
Great.
Great. Right, here we are by the jetty, Dana Point. This is kind of a cool spot because it's got very low wave. There's a lot of surfers out there, as you can see. And we're just north of where we're camping. You scroll down here, we're camping, I'll zoom in, we're camping, the campsite's right over here. So we're kind of right along on the other side of this, that Jedi there, jetty.
No, this isn't wrong.
And we got Dixie. First time seeing the ocean.
That's the ocean,
And Eva Grace.
Well, she's seen it.
And Mom.
Hi. Come on.
Dixie seems to like the water.
Yeah, she does. What is that, Dick? What is it?
Uh-huh. All right, we're gonna head back to the campsite. We just got done with breakfast. We're gonna have to get our swim trunks on, some suntan sunblock, because I'm starting to feel like I'm burning in the white boy that I am.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Here we are, mid-October. This is October 22nd today. Look at this. I think it's like 78, 79 degrees. There's actually a heat warning inland except the beaches. But it feels like it could be a July or an August summer day. Kyle.
Dad, turn off the film.
What's wrong with me having you on video?
Dad,
Say hi.
can you please turn it off?
Okay, I'll turn it off.
So you got a new dog? We've had her a couple of years. It's a great dog.
So hard. No, she's just gonna feel it. Where'd it go? Somebody. What? I put this. What? I found a big one. And that was
There we go. Well, here comes the train. Let's see if we can see the train. Yes, we can see the train. That's the train that goes to San Diego. All right.
And then eventually, when they get to show every wave breaks. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's gonna break somewhere. It's just gonna waves are great because they get in shallow water. They get in shallow. If a wave never got to shore, it would be great.
So here I am with my wife Monica. We're just going to give you our impressions and thoughts of the beach and whether or not we'd recommend. So we're just going to kind of go down the pros and cons and let you know.
Yeah.
The first pro is it's on the beach. I mean, beach camping, you have to take that in granted. Even if the campground is horrible, the fact that you're actually camping on the beach is a big plus. So that's the number one plus, okay? On the downside of that, well, should we go through?
How about the things we like first?
Okay, we'll go.
Pros and then cons. Okay. So yeah, on the beach is good. I mean, the location is everything when you're camping.
Now, we've only camped at 2 other California campsites. And a big pro that I found, I think the restroom and the shower facilities at this particular beach were better than the other 2. They had private showers, so you can go in and lock the door. It had a nice little area where you could put your clothes, and it had some shelf for, you know, a shampoo, bottle, soap. It takes tokens like the other ones. How much are the tokens? Are they 50 cents?
I think you get 4 tokens for $1.
And
one token is 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So, you know,
quarter for 2 minutes.
It'll cost you, you know, like 50 cents to take a quick shower, and at least it's warm water. So that's a big plus.
Yeah.
And the bathroom facilities were very clean. They came every morning and cleaned it. So that's a big plus to me personally, because you know, when you're out camping, the fact that you can take a nice shower, that definitely, you know, especially if you've been in the ocean water, that's a big plus too. Okay, another pro is if you're a surfer or a paddle boarder, this is the place. As you saw in the video, lots of people surfing, lots of different skill levels. So if that's what you're looking for, this would be a perfect spot to go camping, okay? The other big pro is we were allowed to bring our dog. Dixie. So dogs can be at the campsite. You just have to keep them in the tent or in the RV at night, you know, and keep them on a leash. But other than that, if you got a furry friend of the family you want to bring along, this campsite welcomes them. So that's real
Only
cool.
thing though is dogs are not allowed on the actual beach, just so you know. I mean, whether you're camping in a premium site or a regular site, dogs are allowed at the campsite as long as they're on a leash. Not allowed on the beach. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
On the state beach.
The other thing I like about it is you can make reservations ahead of time, which is nice. So you know you can reserve a specific spot like we did, so you know you're actually on the beach facing the water. That was kind of important to us. If you like to play volleyball, there's a huge area where they have a lot of volleyball nets and open barbecue pits. You got to bring your own food and charcoal, but you know what? That's a nice feature too. So the actual part of the beach that has all these facilities available for you to do, you know, volleyball and barbecues, that's also very nice.
I want to mention one thing because I want to hit back on the reservations when you were talking about, they have different types of sites. They have your standard sites and then they have the premium sites. The premium ones are about 25 to 30 sites just right on the sand of the beach. The rest of the sites are scattered around the actual campground, and it's still a close walk to the beach. What I did want to mention though is every single site, regardless of the type of site that it is going to book 6 months in advance. That's when they open up their scheduling. It's on a rolling schedule. So year round you can book up to 6 months in advance, and I guess they open it on a weekly basis. They are booked out till next April. I just looked now. We're going into November. They are booked out every single week, every single site.
Yeah.
So just so you know, it is if you want to get a site there, you better book ahead.
Beach camping, I would imagine, in the state of California.
I was surprised to see though that there's beach camping in January, but there are.
Yep.
They're full. They're completely full. So book ahead. Book 6 months in advance if you want it, especially if you want one right on the sand like we got.
The other nice thing I like about it is it's very close to the freeway. I mean, literally, you get off the 5 freeway, which is the main freeway from LA to San Diego. You get off that freeway and literally within, what, a mile and a half, you're at your
there.
campsite.
Yeah.
Okay? So that makes it very nice. It's not way out in the woods. You're still close enough to civilization, but you still kind of feel like you're camping.
Well, yeah, I mean,
nice.
we picked up pizza and we
had
went and
pizza.
had breakfast at a pancake place. By the way, there's a really good pancake place down the street
I
called.
put some footage
Oh,
in there.
okay.
They've seen it.
So,
And then
yeah.
the last thing I'd say is every site comes with its own fire pit. And the cool thing about this fire pit is it actually had a grate that either you could flip over the fire or take off if you just want it like a campfire.
Yeah, that was
which
nice.
is nice because if you didn't have a camping stove and you wanted to heat up, boil some water, and you had pots and stuff, you could just flip that grate over and then use wood. You know, and they sell wood there too. I think, what was it, $6 or $7?
$7, cash
$7
only.
for a big bundle of firewood, but you can pick
Cash
it up at
only.
the store on your way down.
But we did use that grate, actually. There was one night,
Yeah.
he brought his 2-burner stove, but there was one night we just needed to heat up some water for our daughter's food.
Yeah, and we had the
And we
campfire
had
going.
pizza.
I'm like, you know, I
Yeah.
already had the stove put away in the car. I'm like, you know what? Just give me the pot.
It worked really well for us, so that was convenient.
Okay, so that pretty much sums up, I think, all the pros, unless you have anything else to add.
No, they're very friendly there too. I mean, in our experience, we had the camp host driving around several times a day, actually with firewood on the back of his truck for anyone that wanted to buy
Yeah,
it.
that
He
was
didn't actually
nice.
have to go get it, but he was very friendly with the kids, with everybody there. So
Everyone seemed to be very
I did like
nice.
how well maintained and how well. Not supervised, but the camp host came around frequently just to make sure everything was okay. So I like that.
Okay, now the cons. One of my biggest cons was the beach itself. I was very excited to be that close to the water, and me and my son Kyle ran down to the water. That whole section of beach, unless you go all the way over to the north end of the beach where they have the jetty, and that's where all the surfing and stuff is going on, is very rocky. I mean, it's impossible to kind of just walk out into the water because there's some really jagged, sharp rocks. If you have those, what do they call those?
Those sand shoes or swim
shoes. If you have those, bring those along. So that was kind of frustrating.
And that helps, but still, those big rocks that get
they were
pelted at
big
your
rocks.
legs.
There were a couple times where I kind of worked my way in, and then the waves would come, and then the waves were pretty strong. But then as they were going back into the ocean, I've had big rocks hit my feet, and I actually got a couple bruises from some big boulders. That's the second part. The waves are pretty strong right there by the campsite. It's almost impossible to go swimming there. You really have to walk down either to the north end or on the south end where it's kind of flat and there's a little bit more sand.
And it's not level sand either. When you're camped right there, you would expect it. Off the videos we saw, we thought that it was just a little short walk to the water on flat sand. But it's actually very hilly, so our younger one couldn't actually do the hills. We had to actually drive to the other lot and park and then go down to the water. So it definitely, that was a disappointment. I know we're spoiled in SoCal, but we live so close to the beach that if we're going to camp there, it would be nice to be able to walk right there.
The other thing is the sites are pretty close together. They're the closest together that I've seen in the other 2 campsites we stayed at. The other sites we stayed at, the campsites were pretty big, and there was a little bit of space, almost like you could squeeze another campsite in there, just as a buffer, which I really like. This site, maybe because they have limited space, they're right almost on top of each other. The first night we were there, the kids were already in bed. We were just sitting by the campfire, and a late night camper came, and he was at the spot right next to us, and he had a big pit bull. And he turned on his car lights to set up his tent.
And his industrial light
And he had
pointed
a
out our
big
tent.
lantern, and it was and then of course Dixie could smell the dog, and the barking started. I mean, so it was I was like, man, it was just so close. So that's one of the, I guess, cons is you have to be able to deal with neighbors, and if anyone's there loud or partying or whatever, that might be an issue as well. Another con is, not really for us because we do the tent camping, but this is a dry campground. So if you have an RV, there's no electrical hookups, there's no water, anything like that. So there were some people that had generators, and luckily I think at 9 or 10 o'clock you're supposed to turn your generator off. Didn't really bother me. But if you're in an RV and that's important to you, note that this campsite doesn't have any of that.
Yeah,
Another
totally
big
dry.
pro to me, which actually was or I should say a con, that actually is a pro too. I mentioned before, one of the pros was it's freeway close. That's also a con because you could literally hear traffic. And even more than traffic, as you saw in the video, there's a train that runs right along the beach all the way down to San Diego. And I mean, it seemed like it didn't stop till like what, 11:30, 12 at night? I think
It actually went through the night because I can hear him snoring. So I'm up at like 2 in the morning.
It was
going, but it doesn't blow its horn in the night. So you could still kind of hear it in the background, but it didn't bother me.
You know,
you learn to tune it out.
Well, you know, if some people want to really feel like they're out and isolated, you know, this
Don't go there.
This isn't the campsite. As you notice when if you watch the video where I kind of, you know, put the camera around our campsite, you can see that big hotel that was on the other side of the frontage road.
Oh yeah, the
DoubleTree.
DoubleTree.
Yeah, there's still a lot of activity, and you're still within civilization. So you know,
really, you're going for the beach experience if you're going.
And then the only other thing I could think of, which this has kind of been a con about every campsite we've been to, is just the lack of shade. I mean, the sun out here, especially in the summertime, can be brutal. And, you know, maybe you've been at the beach for 3 or 4 hours, you come back and you're kind of a little crispy already and you want to get out of the sun. And unfortunately, there's no place to set up your tent where, you know, got a nice shady tree to go underneath it. And so you're really at the mercy of the weather. And if it's a sunny day, it's pretty brutal if you're sitting out there with no shade. But about every campsite we've been to,
I would definitely, if shade is a big thing to you, bring an Easy Up. If you have a lightweight Easy Up, that's going to help you a lot, especially if you come in the summertime. So keep that in mind. And it gets really windy too. So you want to have one that's you're going to be able to anchor down.
Yeah, of course you're on the beach, so it is very, very windy.
But
so that pretty much sums up, I think, everything about the pros and cons. The big question is, would you go again to that campsite?
I don't know. You know what? It's not complaining. I like mountain camping more. Honestly, though, with the beach, it's a hard decision because I do like that the premium sites are more spread out than the rest of the sites, so you have a little bit more room than you would if you paid less and went to another site.
Too close
However, the thing I don't like is that anybody from any of the other sites can pull their chairs up right there on your site, which people did the entire time we were there.
Yeah, I was
obstructing your view, obstructing your privacy, which you really don't have there. So it's a trade-off. It's like, okay, a little more space, but then your space is taken up by
the last
somebody else.
campsite we went to, what was it called? San Clemente
State Beach.
We went to San Clemente State Beach, and that wasn't on the beach, it was above the beach, and there was a walkway down to the water, but again, real rocky, you couldn't swim there. But it was just maybe 5-6 minute drive in the car to actually go near San Clemente Pier, and that beach is awesome.
Yeah.
We spent the whole day there, and you know, nice and sandy, and the waves weren't as intense.
And the spaces were more spread out.
And yeah.
So I mean, if you look at the cost too of the sites per night, the premium ones at Dana Point at Doheny were $60 a night for the premium sites, and then over at San Clemente, yeah, you got a little bit of a drive to a couple minutes, but I think we were paying about $35 a night for our site. So you do pay less.
So really, to sum it up, if you're, you know, living in California, LA County, Orange County, and you're looking to camp on the beach, I would recommend it at least once. You know, it is a very unique campsite being on the beach. Even if you're visiting, you know, you're from the Midwest or somewhere else, it gives you a nice feel of the California kind of surfing vibe, being right there on the beach. You can walk right down to the main beach area. There's a little snack bar. There's a couple nice restaurants within walking distance. So you know what? It's nice for what it is. It's not my favorite campsite I've been to, but like I said, the big thing that kind of pushes it over for me to recommend it would be that it's on the beach. I mean, that's a
Hey, if I did it again, I'd almost suggest splurging and just do dry RV camping and rent an RV. I would almost consider it then, because then I'd have a little bit more space, I'd have shade. I would consider it. But you know, there's so many other places to go. I mean,
I didn't mention with the RVs, the parking for the RVs
that's
really, really small. A guy next to me on the second night, must have spent 45 minutes trying to back up his RV, and it wasn't even that big.
That's true, I forgot
think
about
maybe
that.
it was, I don't know, an 18, 20 foot.
It wasn't one of the longer
And I
ones.
mean, they don't give you a lot of room. The main road is, I mean, barely you can squeeze 2 cars. And then, you know, if you got a big trailer and you're trying to back it up and all the other spots are full, so you can't pull into their parking spots, it's a little bit of, you got to be a good driver to be able to back up some of these bigger RVs.
And don't think you're
trailers.
going to come in an RV and check in early, because they're very strict about the 2 o'clock check-in. So, you know, expect it to be full if you're coming in an RV.
So overall, I would recommend it. You?
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Okay.
For at least try once. Yeah.
So guys, as always, I appreciate you watching my video. And like I said, this is a completely different video for me to be doing. But, you know, we were going camping. I thought, you know what, let me do it. I'm just trying to experiment. I'm trying to bring my viewers new content. If you like this kind of stuff, I'll be happy to do more of it. Just leave some comments
Tell
below.
him.
Tell me.
He listens.
Tell me if you like it or not. If you'd rather just have me stick to the cooking, I'm good with that too. I'm just trying to see what might work, what might be something that we like and that my viewers like. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, hit the like button and consider subscribing. The link's right below, and link to my website, Eric Smoking Barbecue. We'll see you next time.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
for watching. Bye.